I want to share with you guys an easy to pick up Bard leveling guide for launch. Bard is a super fun class to play, but it can run into some difficulties while leveling, specifically in solo instances, since they feel a little lacking in the damage department. However, with a solid leveling build, you're going to set yourself up for success and get to 50 in no time. Also, please like and subscribe if this guide helps you out. And I'm going to be streaming Lost Ark on Twitch, so catch me there too for more support content. Links in the description. That being said, the first thing I want to go over is just how much customization you have with your builds. You can literally reset skills wherever, whenever you want, excluding certain boss fights. So there isn't any stress if you get started with a different build or you just want to try out new skills. This also means that when you first play, the amount of skills and skill upgrades can be a bit overwhelming, especially when you're deciding which skills to beef out. Skill points are gained as you level, and they let you enhance skills to tier 1, 2, and 3 respectively. Each tier costs more points, and the last tier gives some pretty awesome bonuses. I'm going to start by going over your core leveling skills, which are the skills you should aim to get to tier 3 first, along with some suggestions for filler skills that you're welcome to mess with or change out as you go. And this isn't an end game support build of any kind. This will just give you a higher damage output to get through leveling content, so keep that in mind too. Also, quick disclaimer, some skill names might be different for NAEU, but the pictures and icons should still be the same. The first skill I recommend you start putting points into is Dissonance. This low cooldown skill leaves AoE puddles on the floor that you can lure mobs into. It slows them and staggers them and is all around pretty great for picking off trash. As you level this skill, you should grab Melody Increase for more chord energy for your identity skill, Survival of the Fittest for a 100% damage boost to mobs, and Enhanced Chord for another base 100% damage increase. The next core skill to put points into will be Soundholic. This skill at tier 3 will be one of your saving graces in solo instances, as it does amazing single target damage. I mean, it's a giant laser beam, what did you expect? The only downsides of this skill are that you can't move while casting it, and it does have a longer cooldown. For skill points, I go Focus Sound for extra stacking damage, Enhanced Duration for added ticks of damage, and Concentrated Fire, which takes away your ability to change the direction of the beam, but in turn increases the damage of it by 740%. Timing this skill well, along with using your attack buffs, that I'll cover next, before you cast it, will turn this into your hardest hitting skill and make leveling content much more manageable. The next core skill to start putting points into is Stigma. This is another AoE damaging skill that you can pair with Dissonance for a clean handling of mobs. Like Dissonance, this creates a puddle on the ground that you can kite mobs into, and it even does more damage over time. For skill points, I go Enhanced Duration for longer uptime, Brilliant Stigma for extra damage, and Stigma of Pain for another pretty significant damage boost. The final skill I recommend you put points into is Sound Shock, which is another very low cooldown skill. For this skill, I grab Constant Explosion for an added damage effect, Enhanced Shock for a base damage increase, and Auto Fire, which allows the skill to fire 2 spheres instead of just 1. And aside from those 4 core skills, I also recommend running with Heavenly Performance for an attack speed and mana boost. And at tier 3, this also becomes a damage buff skill, which is awesome. You can cast Heavenly Performance and use your damage boost minstrel skill, Serenade of Valor, before popping high damage skills like Soundholic for a really decent window of burst damage too. The rest of the skills are really whatever you would like to run. I personally like Soundwave Vibration for a nice AoE juggling skill, and Overture of Storm for a stun. I recommend playing with different skills, aside from those 4 core skills, as you go, to get a better feel for Bard and her kit. I wish you guys all the best luck leveling, and I'll have a level 50 build up after launch that's focused on bubbling, buffing, and supporting, so be on the lookout for that. And if you aren't quite sure yet if Bard is the one support that caught your heart, check out my Bard vs Paladin guide for a quick overview of both. I'll catch you guys next time.